Under the dim bar lights, I bump right into my wife, a married woman, holding hands with her very first love.
I am standing there with my own lover too. The crazy part? Just 10 minutes ago, we had swapped our fake schedules. She claimed she had an important meeting, and I said I was stuck working overtime. Surrounded by total strangers, we play dumb flawlessly, shaking hands with perfectly polite, friendly smiles. But later that night at home, she suddenly grabs me, flashing this incredibly dangerous smirk. Did you have fun playing around?
Hubby, that night at the bar, the second I spotted Bak Nungbong, I immediately turned around to walk out. But my absolute idiot of a friend grabbed me, dragged me right in front of her, and laughed out loud. He introduces me to the manager of Tantrak Group, Miss Bak Nungbong, the young lady of the Bak family. Then he completely obliviously turns around to introduce me right back to her.
This is Fu Vien, he says, the executive director of Tonglap. Bragging about my professional skills, he literally throws up.
Thumbs up. If you have any future projects, you can totally find him. Our young Master Fuang does an amazing job. While he keeps on
completely babbling, my eyes lock straight onto Bak Nungbong. She has her arm wrapped around Ha Kuang, but her gaze drops down to my hand, which is holding tight onto Tam Hu Vi. A split second of shock hits her face, then she smirks. Long time no see. She reaches out.
A director visits bars too? I thought you were so insanely busy you would still be grinding through overtime right now. As she speaks, the tips of
her fingers dig painfully hard into my palm. I tremble just a bit, but instantly fire back. I also thought CEO Bak was managing.
So many things. You would definitely be stuck in a board meeting right now. We stare at each other, a sharp flash of danger passing between us.
Then, drop. We both let go at the exact same time and turn away. The VIP corner is packed with industry acquaintances.
Here is the crazy secret though. Nobody actually knows Bak Nungbong and I are married. Besides our parents, literally no one has a clue. 7 years of marriage, yet everyone assumes we are totally single, constantly trying to set both of us up on blind dates. This is Miss Bak's first love, a friend laughs, casually raising his wine glass. Who knew she was such a pure love warrior all along? He chuckles loudly. Ever since Ha Kuang went abroad 7 long years ago, she has stubbornly stayed unmarried.
Just waiting it out. Miss Bak is truly an elite, powerful woman. Over the years, golden bachelors and endless rich playboys
Launched massive pursuits, but absolutely nothing could shake her. She just waited and waited. Yet the second Ha Kuang returns, they have already reunited.
I narrow my eyes just slightly. Under the hazy bar lights, Ha Kuang wraps his arm around Bak Nungbong's shoulder, staring right at me. The corner of his mouth
curls up into a totally contemptuous smirk. It is the classic smile of a winner looking at a loser. I look away, giving a cold, completely emotionless smile. Humans really are such forgetful creatures. Back in those rough years, I used to toss and turn all night, my heart hurting so badly like it was being squeezed so tight I could not breathe. Back then, I thought I would never climb out of that mud pit. But now, looking back, the pain feels so distant, it has almost completely faded, gone. Whoever this woman dates does not stir up my heart anymore. Out of everyone present, only Bak Nungbang and I have never once showed up together. The friends standing around us just assume we do not know each other, so they turn to introduce me. Our young Master Puang has been single for years, still has not found anyone suitable. He chuckles. Recently, he found this little sister, finally willing to settle down. He teases me, saying it is the first time seeing young Master Pung act this serious. I bet we will hear some good news soon. Beside me, Tam Hu Vi holds my hand, smiling. Gently, her voice ringing clear. There are still 3 months until I reach the legal age to marry. Even the hazy atmosphere of the bar could not hide the absolute purity shining in her eyes. She clearly has this calm, slightly spoiled-looking face, but her eyes shine fiercely like a loyal little puppy. Once she locks onto someone, she absolutely refuses to let go. My heart flutters just a bit. Wondering how this started, Tham Hu Vi and I met by pure chance. I had just won an award, invited back to my old school as a
Guest speaker, Tom Hugh V was not even an engineering major. She only showed up to grab some easy activity points. Who knew that after the talk ended, she
Would literally be the first person to sprint up and block my path. Honestly, at first, I thought she was just a freshman wanting to ask about my career, so I simply stopped and patiently waited. But she just stood there, staring intensely at me, looking exactly like a hungry little dog that just spotted a bone, and finally opened her mouth. "Senior, can you please give me your WeChat account?" I was pretty stunned. Tom Hoo V and Bak Nung Bang are not alike at all. Even though they are both stunningly beautiful, their vibes are just completely different. But in that exact split second, I suddenly saw the shadow of a 22-year-old Bak Nung Bang. With that exact same arrogant look, she tilted her chin up at me. "Junior, give me your WeChat right now." Like I was totally possessed, I pulled out my phone and scanned her QR code. Later, Tom Hoo V confessed that the exact second she saw me, she felt like Cupid had fired a massive cannon straight through her heart. She was so completely blown away, she felt dizzy. For 2 solid hours, just staring blankly at me, without hearing a single word of my actual speech. Look, I did not plan on lying to her. I frankly told her that I was already married. She was completely heartbroken for a while, but she stubbornly kept chasing me. "As long as you divorce her before I reach the legal marriage age, I will forgive you." She lowered her head, looking so incredibly pitiful. Her thin shoulders just slightly shrink back. For a second there, I almost feel like she has these 2 little drooping ears sprouting right behind her neck.
So incredibly cute. Only 1 year and 3 months left now. Right then, I just had this massive blowout fight with Bak Nung Bang. The real reason?
The argument started because I found out she went overseas just to celebrate Ha Kwang's birthday with him. Honestly, I already know everything.
The whole history between Bak Nung Bang and Ha Kwang. The 3 of us actually went to the exact same high school. They were each other's first loves.
Their family backgrounds matched up perfectly too. Back then, their romance was incredibly passionate and intense. Meanwhile, I was just some completely ordinary guy. Just one of the many boys secretly crushing hard on Bak Nung Bang. Out of all those people, Bak Nung Bang and Ha Kung. They dated from age 16 straight through to 22, a full 7 years together, breaking up only after finishing college. The reason for the split? It was simply because both of them were so outstanding, practically heaven's favorites. But Bak Nung Bang always had this incredibly stubborn streak, refusing to ever compromise. The arguments just kept piling up over time, and eventually Ha Kwang truly couldn't handle it anymore. He angrily moved overseas. Bak Nung Bang never chased after him either, and just like that, they broke up. Later on down the line, she occasionally watched me play basketball, standing right outside the court, and then asked for my number. It sounds pretty funny now. I actually thought she liked me. Found out later that after Ha Kwang left, she was just feeling way too empty and bored, so she casually picked me as a convenient replacement. Everything after that happened so naturally. She had a broken heart and needed someone to comfort her. Meanwhile, her family kept rushing her to get married. She needed someone to deal with them, and my background fit every single requirement. I became her best option. As for me, I didn't know a thing. Just foolishly fell for her, genuinely believing it was true love. I was so happy, thinking she felt the exact same way. Thinking back on it now,
I shake my head, unable to hold back a bitter laugh. Just pure stupidity. Bak Nung Bang narrows her eyes, her long, slender fingers playfully tracing.
swirling the clear glass, she smirks with a cold little smile. Director Phuong, reaching this age and still unmarried, you wouldn't happen to be hiding a wife at home while sneaking out with some young girls, right? I glance over through the noisy crowd. Without a single doubt, Bak Nung Bang. She is absolutely the most eye-catching person here. Sexy figure, sharply refined facial features, those alluring peach blossom eyes drawn with such precise eyeliner. Elegant and totally charming. Age hasn't left a single mark on her. If anything, it just made her even more dangerously attractive. Right now, she wears a tight black dress, leaning lazily back into her chair. That thin fabric stretches tight across her chest, creating curves that are almost exaggerated, making all the guys around us unable to stop sneaking looks at her. I just raise my glass, taking a sip of wine, and calmly reply, Director Bak,
Reaching this age without getting married surprises me too. Aren't you also hiding a husband somewhere while sneaking out to meet an old flame?
Those words drop without a hint of politeness. Our friends around the table fall completely silent. They just don't get why we're already clashing this hard.
You can cut the tension with a knife here. After a moment, we both let out cold scoffs and pull our gazes away.
Hard to say how this drink even tastes anymore. Bak Moonbang and Ha Korn just keep openly flirting right in front of my face. Eventually, Ha Korn. He directly grabs her chin, sharing the amber wine through a really deep kiss. The whole crowd around them immediately starts cheering and hyping them up.
Bak Moonbang lifts her hand, wiping the spilled wine from her lip, raising an eyebrow at me. If this were the old me, I would have definitely died of anger.
Right on the spot. But now, I can even smirk and join the crowd, loudly shouting for one more round. Bak Moonbang just laughs.
She turns to look at me, eyes flashing. Director Huang, you should go for a round too. A few friends who drank way too much happily lift their glasses. Handing a drink to me and Tham Hu Vi, they laugh and tell us to give everyone a real show. Tham Hu Vi actually comes from a great family background, not losing to Bat Nung Bongs at all, but she was raised super strictly since childhood, never messing around in these kinds of wild social circles. According to her own words, I am her very first love. Her ears slowly turn bright red. Beside us, the smile on Bak Moonbang's face. It slowly stiffens up, her hand tightly gripping her wine glass. I'm really not like Bak Moonbang. I hate getting overly intimate in front of so many people. So I wave my hand, ready to refuse, but Tham Hu Vi suddenly leans in close. Her eyes are sparkling so brightly right now, catching the light as she looks up at me. And get this, as she leans in, I'm startled to realize the girl I always thought of as a kid. She has completely grown up without me even noticing. Her gaze drops down to my lips. My lips are still soaked in that rich red wine.
So incredibly tempting, she softly calls out to me. That single phrase instantly makes me understand what being purely innocent and deeply seductive looks like at the same time.
Normally, Tham Hu Vi always carries this innocent, girlish vibe, even though she's 1.68 meters tall with a smoking hot figure. Every time she calls me, it feels like she hasn't grown up yet. But right now, the corners of her eyes are flushed red from the alcohol.
Her eyes are filled with pure temptation. Unconsciously, I swallow hard, staring at this face, and yet I just can't bring myself to say the word no.
Right as our lips are about to touch, Bak Nung-bang suddenly shoots up from her seat. Her face turns completely pale. The movement is so violent.
It sends several glasses crashing down onto the table, shattering everywhere. Everyone around us jumps in shock, totally clueless about what she's actually doing.
I instinctively step back too, but Tham Hu Vi just lets out a soft little...
The soft scent of barley wine brushed my lips. Getting home, I flicked the lights on, and there sat Bai Nung Bang. On the sofa, her face looks completely dark. Honestly, ever since the second half of the night at the bar, she has kept that miserable expression, almost as if
the entire world owes her $1,000,000. I do not even care. Kicking my shoes off, planning to just shower and go straight to sleep. Bạch Nương Băng cổ lưỡi speak up, working overtime all the way to a nightclub. I give a slight smile. CEO Bạch is also having business meetings at a bar, so we are practically the same. Her slender fingers hold a cigarette she has not smoked yet. The ash is pretty long.
But she does not flick it, just staring at me mockingly. Feng Vian, you are really something. You even know how to bring young girls into nightclubs now?
I turn around, giving her a cold laugh. Did you not say before that we both play our own games and nobody interferes with the other? So what is the meaning of this act now? Do not tell me you are actually jealous. Jealous. Bai Nung Bang laughs coldly, crushing her cigarette hard into the ashtray. You think way too much. I just want to remind you of one thing. That childish girl is not reliable at all. I'm too lazy to argue, just shrugging. You were fully grown back then, and yet I did not find you reliable either. Finishing that, I walk straight into the bathroom. The moment I turn on the water, the bathroom door is pushed open. Before I can even react, a warm and soft body presses right up against my back. I frown, but Bak Nung Bang just hugs me tighter. Her voice is quite hoarse,
whispering right into my ear, "Is that little girl as good as me?" Inside the totally enclosed bathroom, her voice sounds incredibly deep and raspy. I turn around, grabbing her waist tightly to immediately take back the upper hand.
Like, no.
When she leaned in to kiss me, smirked, pushed her hard. She stumbled back, eyes wide, asking if I was crazy.
I grabbed a towel, wrapped it tight, told her to get out. Bak Nungbang's pretty face just went completely dark.
Glaring at me, barely holding it together. Feng Vian, do you really hate me that much? She stood there, in almost nothing.
My whole body froze up. I stared at her, totally lost. That photo Ha Kern had just sent me matched this exact image.
It was Ha Kern's birthday. I went out for a business deal, got into a bad traffic crash, lying completely alone.
In that hospital bed. Meanwhile, Bak Nongbang was in Ha Kong's bed, not wearing a single thing, neck and shoulders covered in
these extremely obvious hickeys. Ha Kern snapped that picture, sending it over. 0 words attached. But honestly, it felt like thunder. Ringing in my ears. A massive slap to the face. Total numbness. I gritted my teeth, trying so hard to swallow.
Down that insane anger. Pointing at the door, I said it one last time. Get out. Bak Nungbang stared.
Her fists clenching tight, her eyes swelled with wild emotions I couldn't understand. Finally, she just went totally blank, yanked the door open, and left. I closed my eyes. Warm water washed over me, but couldn't rinse. A way that bone-deep cold. Her touch made me feel absolutely sick. I had just figured out that my wife, Bak Nungbang,
Never actually forgot Ha Kern, even after 3 years of marriage. Honestly, things seemed pretty fine back then. She was a
really good wife. Beautiful, sweet, super open behind closed doors. She never acted like some spoiled rich girl who just loved to party. After work, she always came straight home, remembered every anniversary, even cooking dinner for me with her own hands. Back then, she'd rest her chin, smiling bright, asking how it tasted. We'd hold each other asleep like any perfectly normal, loving couple. But here is where the illusion shatters. We were getting intimate, sweat dripping onto her collarbone, and she unconsciously whispered, "Ha, Kern." Felt like taking a baseball bat to the head. Total blank. Like spotting one cockroach in your house. I suddenly
realized there were probably hundreds more hiding in the dark. After that, I kept finding more and more twisted things.
messages she refused to delete, locked folders full of pictures together, secret secondary accounts that were quietly keeping tabs on me. We screamed at each other, sanity completely gone. I begged her, threw threats, cursed her out. I tried literally every single method. Useless. Finally, Bak Nungbang just coldly dropped one brutal line. "If you can't handle it, let's get divorced." I finally
understood. All these years, I was just deluding myself into thinking we were this perfect match. She never actually loved me. Her heart always belonged to another guy. No matter how long I stayed by her side, I couldn't beat the 7 years she
spent with Ha Kung. I just locked myself inside that pain. These wounds felt like venomous snakes, hiding deep in my body, crawling out every single night to tear my heart completely apart, bit by bit, until she flew to the UK just to celebrate
Ha Kung's birthday. You can probably guess how that felt. I just sat staring out the window. Moon unusually bright. After that night, I finally told myself, this is enough. I am letting go. Back then, Bak Nungbang's mom really didn't like Ha Kung.
Our two families had old grudges, but she actually liked me a lot. Over the years, she cared for me, sometimes even
scolding her own daughter to defend me. A year ago, her mom fell severely ill. The doctor said with good care, she might last
another 2 years. Bak Nungbang didn't want to upset her mom, making a deal with me. Wait until she passes. Then
we divorce. To compensate, she'd give me company shares. I agreed, not for the cash, but genuinely wanting to repay what her mother she had done for me all these years. Since then, we just lived separately. We completely minded our own business. For a whole week after that, but
Nungbang didn't come home.
It wasn't until her mother's birthday that we finally sat in the same car to visit her. Just putting on an act.
Act natural, she tells me. Don't let my mom find out. Baek Nung-bang steers with one hand. And tell whatever dogs or cats you have hanging around.
Do not call. If we get caught, watch out for your 7% share. Can you believe her? I just let out a cold laugh. Worry about yourself first.
Baek Nung-bang's face instantly darkens. She stays quiet, not saying another word. Her mom's place is a mountain villa, so we drive along the winding road.
Who would have thought, right? Halfway up, her phone suddenly starts ringing. She glances at the screen and immediately picks it up. I honestly cannot even help but turn my face away. A few years ago, I used to call her all the time. Back then, we were newly married and I always
Missed her, but she rarely picked up. Every single time, she claimed she was busy with work. I was so foolish back then, believing it completely. Only later did I understand. For someone important, no matter how busy, you always make a little time. But for someone who does not matter, even if you are completely free, you will not waste a single second. Just a moment later, whatever the other side says, Baek Nung-bang suddenly slams hard on the brakes.
She pulls over. I almost smash my head into the glass. I furiously yell out, "What are you doing?" Baek Nung-bang looks dead serious. "I have business. You. Go on your own." My eyes go wide. "Are you crazy? We are on a mountain. At least take me to the top first." Ha-keun has an emergency. "Get out right now," Baek Nung-bang says, completely losing her patience. The car seat automatically rises up. She shoves me out hard, almost making me
Twist my ankle. Before I can even yell, the car speeds off, leaving behind a blurry smoke trail. Baek Nung-bang, are you insane? I am so furiously mad, I want to jump up, but she is already driven away. I cannot even see a shadow of the car anymore. I pull out my phone, my face turning totally pale. When I realize there is zero signal up on this mountain, I think for a second, grit my teeth, and keep walking up. Baek Nung-bang's mother. Might not say she treats me like her own son, but all these years, she has always been good to me. Even though their family has private chefs, personal maids. Every single time I visit, she personally goes into the kitchen to cook for me. She even carefully memorizes the exact dishes, like just to make them specially for me next time. Because of this, Baek Nung-bang gets pretty jealous, saying that since she was little, she never got to eat many meals cooked by her mom. The very first time she found out about Baek Nung-bang's affair, her health condition back then was already failing. And yet she still tried to hold herself up, stumbling into the kitchen to grab a rolling pin, ready to beat Baek Nung-bang up. Do people marry you just to suffer like this? What kind of twisted potion did that guy Ha-keun feed you, making you actually treat Fung like this? I genuinely used to advise her to. Baek Nung-bang, she does not have much time left in this world. Every time we meet is one time less. Baek Nung-bang, you might have zero conscience, but I absolutely cannot do that. The mountain road is entirely steep uphill. I injured my leg in a car crash before. Even though you normally cannot tell, it still has not fully recovered enough for me to handle long periods of exercise. Not long after, the sharp pain becomes completely unbearable. I grit my teeth, trying my hardest to keep stepping forward until I am almost there. My knee hurts so badly it locks up. But listen to this timing. Right then, my phone suddenly starts ringing. The caller is a friend who works at the hospital, one of the few people who actually knows the relationship between me and Baek Nung-bang. She holds the line for a long time without speaking. A moment later, she finally stammers out, "Young Master Fung, I just saw Baek Nung-bang and some man coming into the hospital. They even went to the maternity ward." As she speaks, she sends a photo over WeChat. In the picture, right outside the patient room, Baek Nung-bang is carefully supporting Ha-keun. Her eyes look so full of heartbreak. My friend does not say anything else, probably afraid of touching my fresh pain. I quietly stare at that photo for a very long time, until a single raindrop falls right onto my phone screen. I look up, completely dazed, only just realizing it has started raining. Mountain rain comes incredibly fast, and in no time at all, I am completely soaked. The bone-chilling cold creeps into every single gap of my body. Turning back down the mountain now is impossible. I can only drag myself uphill,
one step at a time. The wind mixes with the freezing rain. Suddenly, I remember something that happened a very long time ago. Back then, I was just in high school. Right after evening classes, I ran into a group of thugs harassing a girl wearing my school uniform. The girl refused to back down and slapped the blonde leader right in the face. He got furious and punched her straight in the stomach. She doubled over but remained fiercely stubborn, refusing to submit. The angry thugs started attacking her, getting more and more vicious. Back then, I was young and reckless, so I yelled out loudly, "What do you think you are doing?" But they did not even pay attention to me. I could not just stand by watching a girl get beaten like that. I instantly rushed in and wrestled with him. I had learned Sanda for a few years, so my strikes were pretty heavy. In no time, I managed to take down a few guys. Right then, the last two pulled out baseball bats. One of them swung it brutally hard right toward the girl's head. In that exact split second, I gritted my teeth and threw myself forward, shielding her. The bat smashed directly into my shin. An absolutely horrifying pain crashed over me. I stumbled back, collapsing right onto the dirt ground. Thugs thought the girl and I were together, so they started beating us even more savagely. I got hit so badly, I could not fight back, right until someone called the cops and they finally ran away. I forced myself to grab the girl's wrist. Coughing heavily, I whispered to her, "Do not be afraid of these." I honestly can't remember much after that. When I woke up, I was already in the hospital. The doctor said my leg was broken, and there were plenty of other injuries to fix. My parents worried I wouldn't get the right care, so they brought me straight back to our hometown. Over time, all this just faded away. Until my car accident. The doctor suddenly asked if I had ever had leg surgery before. He found an old injury that might mess with my recovery. He needed a family member to come and sign the surgery papers. I called back Nungbang. She casually brushed me off, said she had a company meeting and couldn't make it. Left with no other choice, I signed the consent forms myself. The next night, lying in that cold hospital bed, my phone suddenly buzzed with a message. I opened it. A photo from Ha Kern. This is where the whole lie completely falls apart. There was never any company meeting at all. Not at all. It was actually Ha Kern's birthday. Baek Nung-bang went straight to him and even slept with him. The hospital window wasn't clean, but I could still see the moon outside. Huge. So bright. That pale white light felt absolutely freezing. My chest just tightened up. Raw pain spread everywhere. I know a grown man calling himself heartbroken might sound a little bit weak, but in that moment, there was absolutely no other way to describe how I felt. That night, Baek Nung-bang lay right in Ha Kern's arms. I stayed awake all night in the hospital, and that exact second, I finally woke up. I'm done waiting for her. I ring the villa doorbell. The maid takes one look at me and jumps. "Young master, you're here." Just wave her off. Let me grab a quick shower first. I really don't want Baek Nung-bang's mother seeing me looking like such a miserable mess. She doesn't have much time left anyway, and I won't cause her any more stress. Cleaned up and presentable, I finally walk into her room. She is laying quietly on the bed. This woman used to be so elegant, but now she is literally just skin and bones. Her face is totally pale. The door opening wakes her. She slowly opens her eyes, a tiny spark of light flashing inside them. "Feng Vian, you came." I sit right down and gently hold her hand. "Mom, you're looking better today. You have got some color back." She coughs softly and manages a weak smile. I do not have much time left. I don't argue. I just start sharing a few lighthearted stories. But after chatting, I run out of things to say. The room falls quiet. Her mother leans back against the pillows, and the room sinks into total silence. I gently pat her hand. "Get some rest, Mom. I will come visit you again next time." I stand up, but she calls me back. "Feng Vian, I want you to divorce Nung-bang." I totally freeze. "What?" She speaks up again. "That girl is tangled up with another man, isn't she?" Baek Nung-bang's mother stares intently right at me, and her voice gets dead serious. "Feng Vian, your eyes just do not know how to smile anymore." She points straight at my mouth. "You are smiling here," then points to my chest, "but in here, you're not."
Nungbang is making you miserable. Every movement leaves her gasping, but she fights to finish her thought. I stand there in total silence,
having no idea how to reply. Please don't force yourself for my sake. You are still young. She forces a weak smile. Get a divorce. Live your
own life. I'll be honest with you. I have no idea why, but a grown 30-year-old man like me suddenly feels tears stinging my eyes. Her mother
just gently pats my hand, her voice soft. You're a good kid. Don't waste your life staying for an old woman like me.
My throat tightens up. I can't even speak. She just smiles. You visiting me makes me happy enough. After speaking,
She slowly pulls open the drawer, grabs a file folder, and hands it straight to me. This is 13% of my company shares. Over the years,
Nungbang has wronged you. Consider this my apology on her behalf. She presses the folder into my hands. You must accept this, please.
take good care of yourself. I am totally stunned and try to hand it right back. Mom, I cannot accept this. But she just smiles, gently rubbing my head. Don't let yourself suffer anymore. That night, I don't go home. I head straight to Thumb UV's place. She is thrilled to see me. But the second she grabs my hand, her expression completely flips. Why are you burning up? I press a hand against my forehead and realize I am definitely running a fever. Thumb V helps me lay down in bed, tucks the heavy blankets all around me, and steps out. Coming back with hot ginger tea, she gently helps me sit up. Drink this. Sweating it out will make you feel better. Then she
Crawls right under the blankets and hugs me. I frown. Careful, you will catch this. She just smiles and kisses my cheek. I don't care. Then
She pulls out her phone. Are you bored in here? Want me to tell you a story? I start laughing. I am a grown man. Why would I?
Listen to bedtime stories? She ignores me, loops her arms around my neck, kisses me, and starts talking. Once upon a time, there was
this beautiful princess. Her skin was white as snow, hair dark as ebony, and lips blood red. But honestly, her heart was black as coal. Because of that,
Everyone just called her the black-hearted princess. Anyway, the prince kissed her. She started coughing wildly, spitting out that famous poisoned apple stuck deep in her throat and came right back to life. They got married. I figured the story was wrapping up and closed my eyes, but suddenly I hear her voice keep going. See, after they tied the knot, the prince actually found out his black-hearted princess was a total traitor, completely taking him for granted and treating him like absolute garbage. So the prince literally shoved that poisoned apple right back into her mouth, making her choke, and then he married a completely different princess, someone much younger, way more beautiful, and most importantly, someone who actually treated him right. The two of them living happily ever after. I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Like, what even is this? Thumb UV just glanced over at me, the corner of her lips curling up into a smile, her small hand gently patting my back. Outside, the night breeze blew through, the curtains gently swaying, as that sweet gardenia scent from the street drifted faintly into our room. Occasionally, you could hear a passing car, the sound so quiet it almost completely faded away. Into the night wind, the light outside was blocked by the curtains, turning everything dim and incredibly soft. Thumb UV felt so warm, just hugging tightly onto my neck. She refused to let go. Honestly, like a child tightly holding on to her most precious treasure in the world. This feeling was definitely unfamiliar to me, but also somehow truly magical. She is obviously so much younger than me, and yet she makes me feel completely reassured. Just before I drifted off into a deep sleep, I vaguely heard a soft sigh right by my ear. Hurry up and get that divorce. The princess can't wait much longer. The very next morning, I went back home really early. Bang Bang was already sitting on the sofa. Soon as she saw me, she frowned and complained. Where did you go yesterday? Afternoon. I called and you never even answered. I had fallen asleep at Thumb UV's house, and my phone was still on silent. I opened it to check. Sure enough, there were 3 missed calls, all from Bak Nungbang. I just faintly replied, "It has absolutely nothing to do with you." Bak Nungbang's eyes immediately darkened. Then she somewhat awkwardly tried to explain herself.
Yesterday, Ha-Kern wasn't feeling well. His health has never been very good. I honestly had zero
Interest in this. I changed my shoes, coldly cutting her off. No need to explain anything to me. Before, I used to desperately want to know absolutely everything about.
Bạch Ngưng Băng. Every single little move she ever made with Ha-Kung could easily make me go absolutely crazy with worry. But right now, even
Just listening to her voice was something I didn't want anymore. I came back to divorce. I threw the divorce agreement straight onto the table. Your mother already knows about our
situation now. She has completely transferred her shares over to me. As for your part, just keep the 7%. I want to quickly finalize this divorce.
right now. If not, I will submit concrete evidence of your infidelity straight to the court. Ha-Kern sent me photos, and they are still right here in my phone.
Today, Bak Nung Bang was completely stunned. I kept that photo just to remind myself of this intense humiliation. Every single time I look at it, my feelings.
For her, slowly fade a little bit more, until there is absolutely nothing left inside. Didn't we already agree that we temporarily wouldn't get a divorce?
just yet? But Ngưng Bang just smirked. Fung Vian, are you really that incredibly impatient to be with her right now? She laughed with pure contempt. You
Honestly think she is that much better than me? You two have such a huge age gap. Do you even share common interests? Even if right now you...
Guys love each other so intensely. 10 years down the line, will those feelings really stay the same? She shook her head, smiling faintly. Fung Vian, you are honestly still
way too naive. Now watch this moment carefully. I just stared at her. The woman I had once happily married had somehow become so incredibly disgusting.
To me now, of course she is much better than a traitor like you. I just laughed coldly. Baik Nung Bang. Someone who deliberately destroys another person's life.
While acting completely thick-skinned and shameless, don't you feel totally despicable? Bak Nung Bang, tell me, people so absolutely terrible that they ruin the lives
Of others and still dare to act so thick-skinned, aren't they just completely shameless? Bak Nung Bang stayed totally silent, not responding at all. Other people's lives
Are still real lives too, aren't they? Are they truly just meant to be some cheap background for your little secret affair? I confidently stepped
closer, looking straight at her, every single word stabbing right into her heart. Now that you are running off with Ha-Kern, do other people know you're doing something shady?
Behind their backs, Baek Nung Bang suddenly stood right up, her eyes completely full of anger. Don't say such incredibly harsh words like that, she glared angrily at
me. You guys act so much worse than anything I could ever say. I laughed coldly. Did you really think I wanted to waste words on you? Signed the divorce.
Paper now. From now on, we mind our own business. If you want to dedicate yourself to the Ha family, that has nothing to do with me. The look on
Baek Nung Bang's face turned completely ice cold. A long moment later, the corners of her lips twitched up, pulling out a totally freezing, emotionless smile. This is exactly what
You asked for, Fung Vian, so don't you dare regret it. I just smiled faintly, directly taking out a pen and handing it right to her. Sign it quickly. Her face looked totally gloomy. She fiercely glared at me once, gritted her teeth, aggressively signed her name, and then threw the paper hard right at me. Is that good enough for you? I slowly nodded.
Tomorrow, the Civil Affairs Bureau opens at 9 a.m. Don't be late. Honestly, from the exact moment she put that pen down to sign, I was incredibly happy, eagerly
wanting to share this with Tum Hyu Vi. She was equally as thrilled. Then tomorrow, I'll go too, and let's get our marriage registration done right away to save
us an extra trip. I'll go home and grab my register right now. I had to gently coax her for ages so she wouldn't rush it, waiting to meet my parents.
First, before doing anything else. Tonight, there was a mutual friend's wedding. Baitnu Ugban and I drove over in two completely separate cars, but somehow still got seated at the exact same table. I treated her like thin air, while she just kept picking up food from the table, placing it onto Ha-Kun's plate. Eat a little bit more, then she secretly glanced over at me. Ha-Kun went totally stiff, forcing a very awkward smile. Ngungbang, you know I don't eat any seafood at all. The other friends hurriedly tried breaking that heavy, awkward atmosphere.
You guys really are something. Lovers eventually become basically like family. We're probably going to hear some good news soon, right? When are you guys inviting us for wedding drinks? Bak Nung-bang said absolutely nothing. Ha-kun just smiled, looking straight at me.
That's exactly right. When the time comes, everyone makes sure to come. Another friend started joking around. You two are really amazing, staying together from high school all the way till
Now. But catch this little detail he drops next. He goes, I remember back then a thug pursued you, got rejected, and blocked your path after school. Luckily,
Kung saved you, right? A lifesaver must obviously be repaid with your whole heart. Ha-kun's face suddenly went completely stiff, forcing himself.
To quickly change the subject, he mutters, Don't bring up the past anymore. I'm definitely not with her because of that. Bak Nung-bang immediately spoke up to loudly object.
Because of that whole thing, Ha Kwang's face turns even uglier. I look up, genuinely surprised there is still some lingering drama between them.
I don't really care though. Not my problem. I just keep my head down and keep eating. Right then, another friend glances over at me. He speaks up. Come to think of it, Fuan Vien once saved a girl back then. Heard 5 or 6 guys were cornering her.
She fought back, so those punks actually took baseball bats to her. If Huang Vien hadn't thrown himself in to shield her, she might not even
Be breathing today. He scoffs. Feng Vien had to drop out of school for half a year and then transfer completely because of that absolute mess.
And that girl didn't even bother saying a single thank you. That hit was so brutally hard, his leg is still messed up. She suddenly
Cuts herself off, looking right at my face. I honestly don't care. Past is past, and I didn't do it just to get a thank you.
from anyone. But Bak Nung-bang's face instantly twists in pure shock. She jumps up, knocking her bowl over, splashing red wine all over her.
Dress. She doesn't even notice. She just stares at me with wide eyes. Her voice shakes. What did you just say? Ha Kwang's eyes flash with
Barely hidden panic. He quickly stands up, tightly grabbing Bak Nung-bang's hand. Nung-bang, your dress is dirty. Let's go outside and...
Change. But Bak Nung-bang violently rips her hand away from him, gritting her teeth. Fuang Vien, what exact day did you save that girl?
I have no idea why she's reacting this intensely. People all around us are starting to stare. I really don't want to ruin my friends.
Wedding, so I try my best to remember. The exact date, I can't recall perfectly. Summer 2014. I think it was August, maybe?
Watch closely here. I tell her to just sit down. This is someone else's wedding. Bak Nung-bang's expression suddenly turns incredibly bizarre, like she can't believe it, panicking hard. She asks with a heavy tremble, What did you say to that girl at the ferry end? It's been years, but
That agonizing pain is still burned into my memory. So yeah, I remember my exact words. Don't be afraid. Pretty sure that was it.
Bang collapses back into her chair. She looks like she's crying and laughing at the same time, finally burying her face in her hands. Hakuang turns pale white, shaking uncontrollably. At this point, even an absolute idiot can connect the dots. I just raise an eyebrow. Well, what do you know?
So the girl getting beaten half to death back then was actually you? I let out a cold laugh. Such a pity. If I knew, I'd have...
Let them finish the job. Dropping that, I stand right up and walk out. Everything else is filled in by my friends later that night. Apparently,
After I saved Bak Nung-bang, she frantically searched everywhere for me. Turns out, while I was getting brutally beaten, Ha-kun watched from a distance.
He was obsessed with her, so he boldly played the hero who saved her life. My friend sends over a video. On screen, Ha Kwang's face looks absolutely awful. His voice shakes. I admit I was stupid to lie to you back then. But is our love over all these years?
Fake, too? You swore you only loved me. Who cares if Huang Vian saved you? You don't love him. You just don't. Are you telling me, now that you know the truth, you magically love him?
Bak Nung-bang's face is completely ice cold. The way she looks at Ha Kong has zero
Love left in it, staring at him like he's her worst absolute enemy. She aggressively shoves Hakuang away, her voice sharp like shattering ice.
Ha Kwang, we are so not done here. My friend gloats through the phone. Ha Kwang is totally finished. Word is, his dad has an illegitimate
kid, and all the family assets are going straight to that child. He only came back here to leech off Bak Nung-bang's wealth. Who would have guessed she'd instantly cut off his cards?
The luxury villa, the cars, everything confiscated back. Judging by her tone, this revenge is just getting started.
I put down my phone, feeling a pretty heavy knot in my chest. You can probably guess, I'm nowhere near as calm as I look. What a nightmare.
Bak Nung-bang fell for Ha Kuang because he stole my credit, and then she turned around and destroyed me for his sake. In this twisted, three-way drama, I'm somehow the most pathetic victim. Do I hate her? I sacrificed myself to save her, and even today my leg isn't fully healed.
But she repaid that blood debt by ripping my entire marriage apart. How could I not have pure hatred for her? If I could rewind time.
Go back to that night 10 years ago, I definitely wouldn't save Bak Nung-bang again. Later that same night, she finally stumbles back home, extremely
Late and completely wasted, reeking of alcohol. I just remind her we have to go file for a divorce tomorrow, so don't forget. But she dodges the subject entirely, crashing heavily onto the sofa. Her voice is all slurred. Ha Kuang and I are completely done. He scammed me into investing in his
family's business, but I aggressively took every last cent back. His family is entirely doomed. He has absolutely nothing left to his name. So are you happy now?
I can't hold back a bitter, cold laugh. What about you? Don't you deserve it even more? Bak Nung-bang just freezes there for a long moment. Then, bam! She drops to her knees right in front of me. Startled, I reflexively step back. But then I see her raise her own
Hand and viciously slap herself across the face. This isn't a light tap. Blood instantly pools at the corner of her mouth. I stare in horror.
What the hell are you doing? Bak Nung-bang slowly looks up, her eyes desperately begging me. I know I was completely wrong. Hit me. Curse me out. Vent your anger however you need to. Fuang Vian, I will compensate you for everything. I hold 42% of the company shares. I'll
Give every single piece of it to you. Just please forgive me. She bows her head down, so low, her shoulders violently shake. The room is
Dead silent. Only her pathetic sobbing echoes around us, sounding just like a whimpering, abandoned animal. I honestly have zero words. Truth is, back in that
year, my parents heavily considered going straight to the police. But later, we heard those exact thugs got completely hacked up by someone taking an absolute.
3 of those guys were beaten so badly, they actually lost their minds. My parents were terrified of going to the police, worried I would just face more trouble.
So many endless procedures and statements to deal with. In the end, we just let it go completely. Because of that, from start to finish, I never actually saw
Bak Nung-bang again after that night. But Ha Kuang was completely right. Even if she knew I was the one who saved her, would she have ever loved?
me. Probably not. Even without that massive misunderstanding back then, the very moment she met Ha Kuang, she still would have fallen for him anyway. Right now, talking is just completely meaningless. You signing those divorce papers is honestly the best payback you could give. I tell her this so calmly. But Bak Nung-bang suddenly lunges forward, grabbing onto my legs tight. She panics, crying out that she refuses to divorce. She admits she was wrong, begging to make things right.
She promises to never get involved with anyone else again. She insists she and Ha Kuang are completely finished. She just keeps begging me. I honestly never expected things
To turn out like this. Furious, I yell right back at her. You and Ha Kuang literally went to the maternity ward together. You are having his kid. You seriously want me to play the forgiving saint? Bak Nung-bang just sits there with tears pouring down. That arrogant attitude of hers is completely gone now. With red eyes, she swears they are not having a child. She claims he was just feeling sick and begged her to tag along. He apparently told her that old incident left him with lingering issues. She says she always felt so guilty, so she just agreed to whatever he asked. And that maternity ward visit? Just picking up medicine for a friend, she insists. Maybe it is all the alcohol talking, but Bak Nung-bang is acting completely different today. She opens her mouth and finally forces out a rough, shaky whisper. Get this, she actually admits she likes me, but she felt she owed Ha Kuang, so she blindly followed his orders. When I brought up the divorce, she says, her first instinct was to refuse. Fu Wang Vian, she cries, I finally woke up. I cannot take this nonsense anymore. I raise my hand and slap her right across the face.
Bok Nung-bong gasps, her head turning from the impact. I glare at her coldly. Stop insulting the word like, I tell her. You make me sick.
I let out a bitter laugh. If I knew it would come to this, I wish you never made it out of that alley. Bok Nung-bong turns completely pale, staring at me in pure shock. I grab the divorce papers, slam the door, and leave. The next day, just as I guessed, Bok Nung-bong completely skips the bureau. She calls me constantly, over and over, just to repeat one single thing. She wants to make it up to me, but refuses the divorce. I grit my teeth in pure anger. This awful woman has already wasted so many good years of my life. Now that I am finally on the verge of a much better future, she absolutely refuses to. Let me go. If she wants to play dirty tricks, she cannot blame me for showing zero mercy. I immediately take the 13% company shares that Bok Nung-bong's mother originally gifted me and sell them straight to the second largest shareholder. This guy already holds 32% of the company's stock, so adding my extra 13% brings his total to 45%. That officially surpasses Bok Nung-bong, kicking her right out of the chairman's seat. All those long years of her hard work and dedication completely washed down the drain. Later that exact same day, Bok Nung-bang calls me, sounding totally defeated. Phuong Vien, she asks, do you really hate me this much? I answer her with zero warmth. I have just had enough. Bok Nung-bong stays silent for a long time before finally whispering back. Do whatever you want, she says. As long as it makes you happy, it is fine. I lost you once. I cannot lose you again. I am so furious, I almost smash my phone against the wall. Finally, I just decide to take this straight to court, exposing all the solid proof of her affair with Ha Kwang. If I file the lawsuit twice, honestly, even if
She refuses to let go. They will force the divorce anyway. The messy split between me and Bok Nung-bong causes a massive uproar across the entire company, mostly because stock
and major asset division are involved. Everyone is talking. I am so swamped I cannot even find time to meet up with Tom Hu-vi. But disasters never strike just once. But hold on, right when I am pushing through these divorce papers, Bok Nung-bong suddenly calls me in the middle of the night, her voice completely shaking. Phuong Vien, get here quickly, she cries. My mother is really not doing well. I rush straight over. When I finally arrive, Bok Nung-bong's mother is actually awake. But her face is totally pale, looking incredibly weak. I lower my head, feeling pretty awkward standing there. After all, those precious company shares she trusted me with, I just sold. Every single one to her own daughter's biggest rival. I fully know that move was a bit harsh, but surprisingly, she does not even try to blame me for it. Instead, she just weakly raises her hand, waving me closer. There is almost zero strength left in those fragile fingers. I step forward, my eyes welling up with real tears. Bok Nung-bang has been crying silently this entire time. She grips her mother's hand tightly, sobbing quietly. Everyone reaches this inevitable moment eventually, her mother whispers. Her mother forces a gentle smile, softly patting her daughter's hand. Do not be sad, she murmurs. Her voice is getting weaker by the second, but somehow she still pushes through to speak. Nung-bang, I heard you refused the divorce. Bok Nung-bang wipes her falling tears. Mom, Ha Kwang completely tricked me before. She cries. Now, I finally know Phuong Vien was the one who actually saved me back then. I seriously cannot afford to lose him ever again. Her mother just lets out a heavy sigh. Phuong Vien is such a good kid. When you two married, he stayed faithfully by your side every single day. Even when you went out causing endless trouble, he never once blamed you. He always waited for you to turn around. She slowly closes her eyes now, her voice growing incredibly faint. Bok Nung-bong panics completely. Mom, please do not sleep. Wake up. Her mother forces her eyes open, using her absolute last ounce of strength to rasp out, I have one final wish left, and you have to promise me you will do it. Bok Nung-bong nods frantically, the tears just endlessly falling down her face. Mom, just say it. I swear I will agree to anything. Please, just divorce Phuong Vien. She grips her daughter's hand so tightly. Bok Nung-bong, you two simply have zero
destiny together. Stop dragging him down. He is such a good kid. Hearing this, my own heart feels completely twisted in knots. I honestly never expected that even at the very end, her mother would still be looking out for me. Bak Nung-bang stays completely frozen. Slowly, she slides right down the edge of the bed, collapsing straight onto the cold floor. Her hands are clenched so tight her knuckles turn completely white, nails digging painfully into her skin. Finally, she just pulls her arms in, hugging herself tightly.
Her entire body trembles violently, choked sobs tearing her apart from the inside. "Okay, Mom, I agree to the divorce," she whispers. Her mother's hand suddenly pauses.
Just for a brief second, then falling completely still. A few days pass after handling the final arrangements for Bak Nung-bang's mother. We finally meet up.
At the bureau, she talks so much while the cold wind blows right through her clothes. She looks incredibly frail now. Do we truly have to divorce?
Just a single second before stepping inside, she suddenly speaks up, gripping the divorce papers incredibly tight. "You clearly loved me so much in the past.
And now I realize I was completely wrong. Can we not just start over?" Her face is practically begging me now. "You can punish me however you want. Treat me horribly if that makes you feel better. I am just begging you, please do not leave me."
She covers her face in despair,
Bursting into heavy tears. "I can ignore that other woman completely," she cries. "Do whatever you want outside. Just please come back home to me."
I stare toward the distant horizon, staying completely silent. Then I answer. "Bak Nung-bang, who do you actually love? Me, Hakwang, or that faded image?"
That lingering shadow of the guy who saved you back then. If Hakwang had not tricked you into meeting him again, would you still like him?
"Of course not," she insists. I just smile and shake my head. "It does not matter anymore. If you have any conscience left, just let me go."
You can literally feel the tension right here. Bak Nung-bang, I truly do not love you anymore. A harsh wind sweeps past, tossing her messy bangs.
I catch a quick glimpse of her red, teary eyes. Then she gives this incredibly miserable smile. "Fine, Phuong Vien," she whispers. "I will set you free."
Completely free. Her voice sounds like something is physically choking her, every single word dragging out with intense difficulty. The house, the cars, company shares, bank deposits. Every single thing belongs to you now. I am walking away empty-handed. She pulls out a brand new agreement. "Just consider this my final compensation to you."
"If you do not want me anymore, at least accept this money." I open the divorce contract and look, completely shocked by what Bak Nung-bang left.
It is not just our shared marital property. It is literally every single cent she owns in the whole world. All 42% of her company shares are transferred straight to my name. All personal assets, real estate, and the cash at home. She is not keeping a single cent for herself, but I absolutely do.
Not want to drag this out any longer. Instantly refusing it. "No need," I say. She gives a miserable grin. "You refuse this, we do not divorce."
I have absolutely no other choice but to sign my name. I do not ask what she plans to do next. Whatever happens is no longer my business.
Not falling for her tears ever again. Crazy how divorcing is faster than getting married, right? In just a few short minutes, we hold those green books.
Stepping outside, Bak Nung-bang has this incredibly complicated look on her face, staring at me without even blinking once. I simply raise my hand up to say my final goodbyes. She stays completely silent. I start my car and drive away. In the rearview mirror, I see Bak Nung-bang still standing in that spot, refusing to move an inch. She seems to be shouting something, but honestly, I cannot hear a single word anymore. The heavy traffic in the distance slowly
blocks her frail figure from my view. Our two worlds have finally split apart forever, completely vanishing from each other's sight. I pull my gaze back. Goodbye, Bak.
Nung-bang, I genuinely hope that we never cross paths ever again.